In the morning when you wake, if the sun does not appear, I will be here. If in the dark we lose sight of love, hold my hand and have no fear, because I will be here. I will be here when you feel like being quiet. When you need to speak your mind, I will listen. And I will be here when laughing turns to crying. Through the winning, losing, and trying, we will be together, and I will be here. If in the morning when you wake and the future is unclear, I will be here. As sure as seasons were made for change, our lifetimes were made for years, and I will be here. I will be here, and you can cry on my shoulder. When the mirror tells us we're older, I will hold you to watch you grow in beauty and tell you all the things you are to me. We'll be together, and I will be here. I will be true to the promises I've made, to you and to the one who gave you to me. I will be here.
We walked through valleys and we've walked on mountaintops, looking for rivers. Once we almost stopped, but we kept on walking. We felt the hunger and we felt the pain, thirsting for water and praying for rain. I'm glad we kept on walking.
Lucy and I have been friends since we were in high school. I can't believe that this day has actually finally come. It seems like just yesterday that we were talking about our first kiss, our first boyfriend, passing notes in class about which boys we liked or what we were going to wear to the next school social. Growing up, Lucy and I were a little bit like Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. Like Ernie, I would usually come up with some harebrained idea that would eventually end with me in trouble. And poor Lucy, like Bert, usually the voice of reason, would get dragged in too. After uni, we both ended up back in Sydney, eventually living within minutes of each other, which meant we'd become joined at the hip once again. Now, it was over the phone that Lucy first told me that she'd met this boy, Pete, at a friend's party, and she really liked him. I could tell in her voice from the moment that she mentioned his name that she was smitten. But it wasn't until I finally saw Lucy and Pete together that I knew it was the real deal. Despite seeming a little nervous when she first introduced us, there was a proud smile from ear to ear as she mentioned his name. She seemed happier than I had ever seen her before, and I've known her a really long time.
We felt the hunger and we felt the pain, thirsting for water and praying for rain. I'm glad we kept on walking. Here's to today, here's to tomorrow, here's to our love from which we will borrow. Here's to forever, to you and to me. Here's to tasting the sun, 'cause the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
When Lucy mentioned she'd met a bloke named Pete, we knew fairly quickly that she felt he was someone very special. Before we met him, we knew he came from a close, loving and caring family. As we got to know him, we found him to be a very thoughtful man, quietly determined and very good company. Symbolically, as parents, the marriage of a daughter is an important event. The passing of the baton, if you like, to a new person, to a son-in-law. And Pete, I generally feel that we are transferring Lucy to safe and trusting hands. It seems to me that to have a good chance of a successful life, three things are important: the person you marry, the career you choose, and your health, and not necessarily in that order. If you can achieve 2 out of 3 of these, you have a good chance. If you only achieve one, it gets harder. We're constantly reminded that health is to some extent out of our control, but the other two are not. And strong relationships are so important in the overall mix. And this is why we are so happy that Lucy has chosen Pete and Pete has chosen Lucy. His love for Lucy is obvious, demonstrated in so many ways, and their love for each other is apparent, especially when you observe how they are together.
Here's to forever, to you and to me. Here's to a taste of the sun. Here's to today, and here's to tomorrow. Here's to our love, from which we will borrow. And here's to forever, to you and to me. Here's to a taste in the sun. Here's to a taste in the sun. It's the best is yet to come. It's the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
Lucy, you make me the best that I can be. You make me whole. You encourage me and support me. You believe in me. You make me laugh. You give me joy. You are my best friend, my companion, my love. Your courage inspires me, and I adore you with all my being. You are my home, my heart, and my soul. Say the legal part. I call upon all persons present to witness that I, Peter James Zuman, take you, Lucy, to be my lawful wedded wife.
I call upon all persons present to witness that I, Lucy Elizabeth Cummins, take you, Peter, to be my lawful wedded husband. Pete, you make me the best I can be. You make me whole. You encourage and support me. You believe in me. You make me laugh. You give me joy. You are my best friend, my companion, my love. Your courage inspires me, and I adore you with all my being. You are my home, my heart, and my soul.
Today, Pete and Lucy have come here before you, the people that they hold so very close in their hearts. They've exchanged vows and promises with each other, and they've given each other the gift of a wedding ring. So therefore it gives me the greatest pleasure to declare this very special couple to be husband and wife. Peter, you make this your bride.
It's everything we have to face it. Without a sound, we take a step. Inside our hearts are racing. If it takes forever, we'll get there together. I'm winding along this road, not knowing where it will go. No matter what life brings, if it's you and me, we're ready for anything. Watching the clouds go by in our time, we'll learn to fly. No matter what life brings, if it's you and me, we're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything.
A wedding is the most public of statements of commitment to another person. It is a commitment to become vulnerable to each other, while at the same time being strong for each other. This is so that each can be the best person they can be, for each other as well as for others. This is the transformative power of love. Lucy has been such a supportive partner to Pete. Pete certainly struck the jackpot when he met Lucy. And we are extremely fortunate to have her as part of our family now.
I'm winding along this road, not knowing where it will go. No matter what life brings, if it's you and me, we're ready for anything. Watching the clouds go by in our time, we'll learn to fly. No matter what life brings, if it's you and me, we're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything.
There are very few times in life where you're given the opportunity to stand up in a public forum and speak from the heart about somebody that you love. And with 26 years worth of material, I really could go on for days about what a good sister Lucy has been to me. But before I begin, I'd like to start with a very different story. One that unfolded 14 years ago when our family went on our very first overseas holiday together. Lucy would have been about 16 at the time. We were joking about how Lucy would one day fall in love and the fact that at her wedding it would fall upon Dad to walk her down the aisle. This hypothetical wedding that we sat there dreaming up was years away and therefore absurd and hilarious to us all. Except to Dad, who sat there quietly with a smile on his face and some tears in his eyes, welling up with emotion at the very thought of it all. Pete, I see how special you are to Lucy and how you make her happier than I've ever seen. You're sweet and you're gentle and you're fun to be around. You're an absolute legend and we couldn't be happier that you've joined our family. I love you both and I want to wish you all the happiness in the world together. Congratulations, Lucy and Pete.